Okay, today we're going to talk about Untold Story of Sita, continuation from the book that we have been reading all this while. And all the masters have been doing a wonderful job of sharing their wisdom with us. So with that, uh, let me pass it over to Master Sridevi Garu.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for such warm and wonderful opportunity. First of all, I would like to thank our Guru Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji and also Swarnamala Patri ma'am. And also, I would like to show my gratitude to Sita Mata and Lord Sri Rama, whose story are about to continue now. So friends, today we are already in the 17th chapter. It's a wonderful story going on. As such, we have never heard of that now, till now. We have been having a different look and different perception of what Ramayana is. But this is a story you're going to learn from the perspective of a third person, that is Meenakshi. So friends, after the war in Lanka, Sita Mata threw a feast to the people of Sri Lanka. And after that, they came home, they started returning back. So this is the story being narrated by Soma, one of the assistant and servant of Sita Mata. And this is the story being heard by Anasuya. Anasuya is a person who has rebirthed herself in her previous birth. She was Meenakshi. That's what we understand from this story. So actually she came to Soma for a issue, that is she was not interested in getting married, and his Pitaji was very interested to marry her. So that the block can be eliminated or released, our Anasuya came to Soma. So she was narrating all this story till now. The continuation of the story is also narrated by Soma. So after hearing all the story up to the war in Ayodhya, and after winning it, all those who are hearing the story returned back to their cottage along with her mother. Well, she never slept a wink after hearing all the wonderful things about Sita Mata. So she stepped out of the cottage and was looking at the night sky, looking at so many stars, thinking of so many things and so many questions in her heart. What are all the sages doing now, and what is Maharani Sita doing now? What are they planning for the universe, for them to look after? There are so many planets. Earth is not the only one for them to look after. So they may be planning so many things like that. She was asking and thinking so many things. She slept off like that itself there. After some time, she heard her mother waking her up. So Anasuya, get up. We have to travel a long journey tomorrow, for we are heading back to our home, was the message given by her mother. So we never had a chance of speaking your situation or issue with the Soma. That was the intention of her mother. But already the issue was cleared here by the meeting itself with Soma. So Anasuya says that I will do whatever Pitaji thinks is the best, was the answer given by her. So her mother was so surprised with such a change of heart. She was just happy with the Soma's magic already being working. So friends, they took a small meal and hurried back to Soma's hut, where as soon as Anasuya met Soma, all her previous day's questions got vanished, and Now she was in the present moment. She was quiet and she was ready to hear the story, next continuation of the story. So when Soma begins to narrate her story with closed eyes, even Ansuya, her mother, and so many other people were also started listening there. So after returning back, their first stop was to Mahadev, so that on the spot where Sri Rama did puja to Mahadev, where the large army had built the bridge to India to Sri Lanka. So they offered their prayers and headed back. While returning, they met Chandrika. Hope we all remember her. Sita Mata has advised her to never lose her self importance, self courage, and self love. So with her inspiration, she had been doing meditation. Even when Sri Rama and Sita Mata came there, she was in the same place meditating. They were very happy to see her like that. But to her amazement, Sita Mata, without any other issues, she directly tells Chandrika that after a few years, you're going to have a son. So use your all skills and capabilities to raise him. So she asks, how is it possible as her husband is dead? Well, Sita Mata replies that you'll find a small boy wandering in the forest who was abandoned by his mother, same as he abandoned you in past life. He was abandoned by his mother in this lifetime. So please shower your all love on him, and so that he can heal the past. So with these words, actually Chandrika starts crying. So she asks, how will I find him? And Mata replies that time will take you and meet as soon as you interact with her. So you don't have to think much. So as soon as this conversation ends, Sri Rama interacts with her. As Sri Rama himself did his last rituals in the past life in the river when he found his dead body. So through his blessings, this wonderful meeting is going to be happen. So you don't have to think much is the message given by both of them. So till that time, she has to continue her penance, that is meditation. So friends, after this long story, everyone returned to Ayodhya. There was a grand celebration there. There were no words to describe the joy over there also. But nobody noticed a small thing which has happened in Sita Mata. Though she was very energetic and so joyful, when Sri Rama and Sita Mata left Ayodhya, they were a young couple, but now the love has matured to a deeper level. So it was a joyful moment for everyone. But Soma noticed a weakening in her life energy also. So she had a close intimacy with Sita Mata, so she can identify that. Maybe even Sri Rama was the same thing maybe happening in him also. But as she was not closely related to him, not so associated with him, she couldn't identify that. But the thing, what happened in Ayodhya was, it's a wonderful thing. After 14 years, the coronation happened and all the joyful moments were there. And not only that, Ayodhya has changed a lot. before and after returning to Ayodhya after 14 days, 14 years. Well, the city had grown, trade had increased, and so many foreign traders and visitors was flooding to Ayodhya. So this was the thing that was something Sita Mata couldn't accept easily. For she couldn't go out freely after all this time. She was roaming freely, wandering freely in the forest. But now she was confined to the palace only. So friends, one day when Sri Raman Mata, Sita Mata were going on in their chariot, uh, they approached a market where a young person was buying medicines for his mother. So Sita Mata ordered the charioteer to stop the chariot, and she got down and went to the person who was ready to buy the medicinal plants. So she said that these medicinal plants for your mother will not be found here. Come with me, I'll show you. So he followed her. All the people, all the girls were following her. So she went straight to Sarayuni river, and there she instructed the person where the plant will be found, and she detailed explained the plant qualities also, so that he can identify them easily. So after that, she also described the process of taking that medicine to him. After that, he instructed that, well, your mother is going to get well soon. After she gets well, ask her to meet me. Was the instruction given to her, given by her to the person. So with great gratitude, he left there, and already the guards were approaching. So she quickly headed to the chariot where Sri Rama was waiting happily. She was consoling the gods, telling that even the Rakshasas in Lanka couldn't harm her. What will the citizens of Ayodhya will do? Was the confidence of on Sita Mata by Sri Rama. Well, after that, uh, they got into the chariot and moved to uh, their abode. But after some time, after some days, Soma found a person seeking audience with the Mata. But the god over there sent her away. So the same was reported to Sita Mata. Well, this was a Sita Mata was in a dilemma as to what she has to do now. Well, Sri Rama replied, do as you wish. That was the thing that Sita Mata was expecting from Sri Rama, as it is. So next day, Sita Mata instructed Soma to get some puja items and also servant clothes so that they can put on and go out of the palace for their wandering. So next morning, Sita Mata got dressed in servant clothes, in Soma's clothes, and with the puja items, they left to Sarayu river first of all. After that, after enjoying there, after doing puja to Sarayu river, they headed to the house of the woman who was waiting for her audience at the door. Well, as usual, Sita Mata knows the way. She directly went there. After meeting there, it was a wonderful moment there. She apologized for the behavior of the god also. Well, at that time, she was the woman whose name was Abhita. She was full of gratitude to Sita Mata. But they, Sita Mata was really in gratitude to her. It's not the reverse one. So both all the people were there were so much of in love situation. Okay, after that, she showed her gratitude to Abhita, and really she was going out of the house. At that time, she remembered a thing, and the necklace that she was wearing, given by Sunaina Ma, was removed carefully and given to Abhita. Well, this was the situation that was not understood by Soma. Why is it that she's giving that valuable thing to her? Was the question in her heart. Well, uh, well, she can't ask the questions now. So it was a great honor. That is, their Maharani was giving a precious thing to her, gifted by her. So Abita lowered her head and she was hesitant to accept it, but Sita Mata gave it to her. Uh, Same thing occurred in the exchange of what happened with the exchange of that ornament, nobody knows. But there was a deep understanding in that situation. With this, they left their home. It was already broad daylight. Actually, they left their palace in early in the morning itself, without in the dawn itself. For as soon as the daylight comes, everyone will recognize Sita Mata. So already heading back to their palace, the streets were filled with many people. At one point, actually, Sita Mata couldn't cross the crowds also. So at that moment, well, they thought of stopping for a moment, but they did not stop, and they carried on their journey. But right at that moment, a person, really a big person holding a large, heavy load, uh, came into their way, and uh, he was in such a rage that he scolded all these two Sita Mata, well, without knowing that she was Sita Mata and Somu. He scolded and he was ready to kick them with all her strength. Soma pushed him aside and saved Sita Mata. So with this, they actually hurry themselves to the palace. There, Sita Mata was changed to her original clothes, and all the whatever the what you say the daily routine was there, it was finished. Same at that moment, they were having a conversation that what is going to happen to Ayodhya, what happened to Ayodhya people. Are they become so harsh that they were ready to kick a woman? Well, Soma was worrying about, he was ready to kick our Sita Mata. But Sita Mata was worried that he was ready to kick a woman. Is it reliable? Well, if any other woman is going to be kicked, yeah, if she has to replace herself, I'm ready to be there in their place. But that's not the point. So today, they saw both the bad and good qualities of Ayodhya in the same day. One was a Abhita who was ready to sacrifice herself for the whole humanity. She put herself to in a sacrificing way for the sake of all the people. For Sita Mata remembers there that she was the person who prayed for the well-being of Sita Mata when she was in Lanka on the Sarayu river. With her, so many people had gathered. She expressed her gratitude for Abhita uh, when she met her for all this. For this was the energy that has created a protection shield around Sita Mata, so that she may not be affected by all the illness or negativity of Lanka people. So this was one situation, and here was a man who was ready to kick a woman. They were not ready to digest the both, but they hoped that next Ayodhya we will hope for the best. That is, the people like Abhita will all get good qualities like Abhita. So after that, when Soma and Sita Mata were discussing this, so at that time, a question was asked by Soma, that why did you give her your pendant, your valuable pendant to her? Well, at this moment, Sita Mata explains that in her previous birth, she was a very cautious woman of a prominent family in Mithila. Her husband misbehaved and a sage cursed her. And their only surviving child was taken care of Janaka family. So they what we say, well, they take the decision that we should be gratitude and full of love to Janaka family. So they have been like that to the family after the birth also, even to the next generations. That is the circle of love. That is the power of love. Sita Mata says that. So when she is expressing her love after so many generations also, first she knows in her soul that Sita Mata is a descendant of Mithila family. So even if with her mind in this present moment, she doesn't know that, but in her soul self, she knows that. So she prayed for me in the banks of Sarayu. So now uh, it's my turn to return the love. So with this, I have given her a token of love. This is the way of exchanging love. And it also deepens the love circle, is the devotion of love is exchanged by this gesture, is the explanation given by Sita Mata. Well, at this moment, Sri Rama enters into the chambers and he says that, well, a rumor is going on in our Ayodhya that Maharani is seen in the streets, market streets today morning. And also that, well, both of them laughs, smiles themselves, and they go out to meet all the citizens of the where they are waiting for them. They all raise a question, they all raise a thing that we should not allow Maharani to roam in the streets like this, dressing as a servant. This was the speaking public mentioned this way of situation. But Sri Rama interrupted and said, Maharani dressed as a servant? How can that be? Okay, whatever it is, that is not the proper way of the situation that we have to take what happened in the morning. What we have to think is that it is not proper or it is disrespectful for a woman to be kicked. He was ready to kick. He lifted his leg also. Well, did someone came to her help or not? That was the question raised by Sri Rama. It is not the question of Maharani or someone else or the servants of the palace. It is the question of a male kicking the woman. This should not be go on. This has to be stopped, was the instruction given by Sri Rama. Well, after this incident, months passed and Sita Mata did not get a chance to go out and enjoy in the nature. She was confined, but in her heart, she was longing to meet the nature. But during this interaction and all this, she was busy with helping Sri Rama in all the activities of the Ayodhya, ruling of Ayodhya. Well, at this time, they heard a sweet and good news that Sita Mata is going to have a child. And the joy increased even more. Well, now they are going to be, the youth energies are going to be filled in all the palace there. Who is going to be heir to the throne? Well, see, there was such a great joy. Even that great joy didn't last long, as Sita Mata got a dream that ended all this joy. That will be explained in the next chapter, friends. But here Soma stopped her narrative story and opened her eyes. But she asked me, Anasuya, that you may ask anything. Do you want any answers from me? Well, Soma said, Abhita was an ancestor of Meenakshi. Soma, Soma said, well, Soma nodded, yes, she was the ancestor of Meenakshi. We knew that story in the starting of the chapters where Sita Mata explained all these things. So Abhita was a great grandmother of Meenakshi. Well, that was the thing Anasuya did not know. And also, she did not have a answer for why she was feeling at ease with Soma. She did not know that she was Meenakshi herself in her past life. Well, with this chapter comes to an end, friends. So thank you for giving me such a lovely and wonderful opportunity of getting connected with Sita Mata once again and Sri Rama. Thank you.
Thank you, Sridevi Karu. Wonderful session. Okay, without much ado, we'll call upon Master Vasanthi. Are you ready, Ma?
Yes, ma'am, I'm very much ready. Thank you, Sridevi Master, and thank you, Pila ma'am, for giving me this opportunity. And my humble
Vasanthi, your volume. Increase your volume, please.
It's good, ma'am.
Is it okay, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay.
Sridevi ma'am, are you able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Tila ma'am, are you able to hear me?
Okay, continue.
Okay. My humble pranams to Patri sir and Swarnalata ma'am, Swarnamala ma'am. Now, I'm going to take over chapter 18. The title of the chapter is Retreat to the Forest. Now, actually, Master Sridevi, she has told that Sita Ma was pregnant. And Sita Ma, she realized that she is able to hear 2 heartbeats. So she is going to give birth to 2 children. She knows that they are 2 children in her womb. So months pass by, and Sita Ma, she has a vision in the very early morning. She has some vision. So this vision is actually from her very past life. This is like a past life regression. So we all know that there are actually 4 yugas. They are Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. So this incident, that is the past life incident, which happened which came as a vision to Sita Ma. This incident had actually happened many millennium years ago. This Ramayana is actually taking place in Dwapara Yuga, but many million years ago, this incident had happened. So we'll see in this chapter how that incident is impacting the present circumstances. Okay, so in that past life, there was a rishi named Brigu, and he had 2 wives. One wife's name was Khyati, and the other was Usana. So we already know that in Lanka, Sita Ma, she had met the sage Devahuti, and she calls her grandma also, Nani, she calls her. So actually, in that lifetime, Rishi Brigu and sage Khyati, they had a daughter, and the name of the daughter was Bhargavi. Bhargavi was none other than the incarnation of Narayani, Lourdes Narayani herself. So that is Sita Ma herself. So it so happened that Usana, the second wife of sage of Rishi Brigu, she requested Lord Narayana to take her life. I mean, Lord Narayana had taken her spirit off her body, so that she will not be in a complicated position of revealing what Asura's guru, that is Shukracharya, his demon students were creating a lot of havoc and chaos on this earth. So she need not have to reveal that incident. So that what whereabouts of those people. So she is appealing to Lord Narayana to take out her spirit off. Then when Rishi Brigu, he comes to the scene, he is very much attached to his second wife, that he curses the person. He doesn't know that Lord Narayana is behind it, but he curses in a fit of disappointment, in a fit of sorrow, he curses Lord. I mean, as he says that whoever is behind the death of my wife, I mean, second wife, that is Kusana, he has to pay for it, and he'll have to depart from his very close, compassionate, lovable person. He'll have to depart from that, from them. Then actually, the daughter of that sage, that is Bhargavi, she was a witness of all this incident, but she did not interrupt or anything, or she did not protest or interrupt that it was on the will of Usana that this thing happened. She just kept as a silent spectator. She was remaining quiet. Then Khyati, sage Khyati, she comes there and she says that this is not correct. Whatever you have cursed out of anger, that is not correct. And she instead, to make the curse, to weaken the curse, to reduce the curse, because once the curse has been given, it cannot be taken back. So to reduce the power of the curse, she gives a blessing. Okay, see, she says that this this departure, this separation will not be long lasting, and you will soon be reunited again, because she knows that Lourdes Narayani is their daughter at present, and whatever this curse is, it will affect their daughter also. So then what happens is, this scene, Sita Ma was able to recollect. And once she recollects, and she knows why this scene has come, why this vision has come to her. And before Sri Rama, he could wake up from the bed, Sita Ma, she instructs Soma and Soma to get the chariot ready, and they move off to the hermitage nearby. So they are actually, so Soma could not understand why this hurry, why this emergency is happening, why Sita Ma is so much restless. But she couldn't do anything rather than to follow Sita Ma's order. So then they go there to the hermitage of the Rajaguru, Sage Vashishta. Sage Vashishta has been guiding Sri Rama for all these days. He was the guru of Sri Rama. And his wife is there, and his wife's name is Arundhati. So actually, Sage Arundhati and Sage Khyati, that is previous mother of Sita Ma in previous birth, they both are sisters. So they both are awaiting and expecting Sita Ma there, and they're waiting in the hermitage, before in the doorways of the hermitage, and they lovably they hug Sita Ma and they receive her. So Sita Ma, okay, that Sage Khyati, she says, Sita Ma, okay, I have somehow I was, do you remember everything? Somehow I was able to reduce the power of the curse, and this you need not worry much about this separation, because soon you will be reunited. So don't worry, don't give more emotions to that. Then actually, Sita Ma, she was a little bit hesitant, because she was realizing that after 14 years of separation, just now that we have united again, and again this separation, she was very much shocked. So Sage Arundhati says that actually before that, Sita Ma, she realizes that Sage Arundhati, she has sacrificed her sons because of for the liberation of Sage Vishwamitra. So this has happened earlier, and this is a sacrifice they have done for the sake of the universe, for the sake of others. So, and Sage Khyati, she has also sacrificed many of her children for in the battle between the Asuras and Devas. All this happened a very long back. So to create, that was in order to create a stability in the celestial world. So that if the stability is created and order is created in the celestial world, it will have its impact on the material world also, that is earth also. So this thing happened very long ago, but she is able to realize, but these great women, they have sacrificed so much, they have sacrificed their everything for the cause of the universe, for the cause of the world. Why should I be hesitating so much? Then actually this separation, we all know, as far as we have heard all these days, they said that Lord Sri Rama was suspecting Sita Ma, and for that only some washerman had interviewed, some citizen had told ill of her, and so for that sake he is suspecting her, and that's why he sent her as exile to forest. But actual thing that has happened was because of this curse. This separation has only actually happened because of the curse of Sage Brigu very long back, and they have accepted this curse. Lourdes Narayani, she has wantedly, she has nodded, and she has accepted this curse long back. So to deal with that, they have taken birth here in order to give liberation to Sage Brigu, so that he can get united with the Atman, to the universe, to the God. So as a sake of this curse, it has happened. And second matter is they wanted to give the liberation to Sage curse. Sorry, Sage Brigu. And it was the intention of Sita Ma also to bring the children in amidst the forest, so that they will get exposed to the nature. They will have moral values, how to safeguard the forest, how what are the limitations of human beings as towards the nature, what is the limitations, what they can do and what they ought not to do, and how they, from the base itself, from the very childhood itself, she will be able to instill very good values into their minds, and this will be a this will be a foundation for the future generations. So she was very much particular about it. She wanted, because amidst that palace life, that luxury, this cannot happen. They cannot realize the common man, and they cannot be with the nature. Their brought up will be different. So she wanted, inner heartedly, she wanted to bring up her children in the forest. So this was one of the reasons. And one more thing is, the life purpose of Sita Ma was, one more thing is that she wanted to bring a safer earth. There was a lot of today's days, there was a lot of protrusion from human beings towards the forest. They were destroying the forest. So to protect the mother earth, the equality between men and other human beings, the other animals, creatures, and between the nature should be there. So it was utmost important for the universe itself, because if the exploitations goes on, continues, then one day the earth will be left barren. This is what the Asuras were doing. They were exploiting and keeping on exploiting the resources, natural resources, everything, and making they were not at all caring about the nature, about the forest. So Sita Ma's life purpose was also to protect Mother Earth, so that the universe also gets safeguarded. There's a balance between all the nature and the human beings. And one more thing, in the earlier chapters, we had seen that Meenakshi generation had got a curse, and Sita Ma was trying to take out that curse from her, but she could not clear that curse. So that was a oath taken by Sita Ma long back, that she had to end the power of the curse. So to end that power of the curse, she herself has to experience the curse that has been given to Lord Narayana. So she was a part of that. So, and she realizes that in earlier separation, both were suffering, but this time Sri Rama, it was the curse for Sri Rama directly. So Sri Rama will have to suffer more, because he'll have to get separated from his beloved wife as well as children. He'll not be able to be as a father with his children. So actually, when this was happening, Sita Ma was thinking, okay, how could I reveal all this to Sri Ram? How could I tell all these things? So meanwhile, the sage Mata Khyati, she says that, not Khyati, sage Arundhati. She says that sage Vashishta has already left this hermitage. He has gone to the palace to meet Sri Rama. He will be able to invocate all the past experiences from like the past reflection. He'll able to retrieve all the past incidents from the heart of Sri Ram. And later this happens, and Sri Rama arrives to the hermitage. He comes and he embraces Sita Ma, and he says that, okay, I am also recollected. So now they all get into a conversation. Now he says to Sage Khyati that earlier, when they were in an exile, they have left the palace earlier, when Sitama and Sri Ram had left the palace as exile, as a part of exile. They stayed for a while in Rishi Brigu's hermitage. And that sage Rishi Brigu, he was very much guilty. He was very repentant that once in his, very long back, he has given a curse in the fit of anger. So that guilt has stayed so long in his mind. Okay, it has remained. and he has been repenting all these years. And after that incident, he has never got angry with anybody. So his character has changed completely. So, but actually, this sage, his wife, Sage Kathy, she had not forgiven Sage, her husband, for this incident, for this anger, for this curse. So she had that inside her, that anger. So Sri Ram, he is instructing Sage Khyati that he has changed a lot. He has corrected his fault. He is no more angry. He has corrected his, he's corrected his anger and fault, whatever is. He is repenting for it. He is guilty for it. And his attachment towards his wife, second wife, Usana, is also dissolved. He is no more that much attached towards her. And so you have to forgive him so that he is ready for liberation. He is already ready for liberation, but he seeks your forgiveness. Once you forgive, only then he can get liberated. So this incident, this reveals us that whatever time it has taken, whichever emotion we hold in our hearts, it has to be paid off, it has to be released. Only then we will get liberated, and we are standing as an obstruction for the liberation of others also. So we should clear our mind, we should free our emotions, emotions, whatever we are holding deep inside our heart, as well as we should release, we should forgive others' mistakes also, because mistake is, there's a saying also, to err is human. So every human being, they commit mistake at one point or the other. So we should realize our mistake, we should correct our mistake, as well as we should not stand as an obstacle, and we should forgive others also easily. Okay, then only we will be forgiven. So that Sri Ram also says Khyati, that once he is liberated, you also will be liberated, and both your liberation will bring very good results to the very good benefit, very great benefit to the universe. So Sage Khyati, she realizes that what needs to be done, and she says that, okay, I will indulge in a solitude meditation, and she vanishes, and she goes on to a solitude meditation. Meanwhile, Rishi Vashishta, sage, his wife says Arundhati, Sita Ma, and Sri Ram, they all go into deep meditation. Throughout the day, they are in deep meditation. They are able to visualize whatever is happening inwardly, whatever changes are happening. And they then, after the meditation, they take their food, and they have a short discussion with their Rajaguru as to what has to be told to the household, to the citizens of the country, so that this matter, this they cannot openly tell to everyone that this is a consequence of past life and all. So what has to be told, and how this problem has to be revealed to the citizens, to the household people. And then after discussing what else has to be done and when this will be done, they return to the palace, and there they live lovably, happily for few months. Okay, then one day they realize that the time has come, the right time has to come, and Sitama has to leave as planned. She has to live to the forest. She has to leave there. And Sitama, she insists that she should be accompanied by Lakshmana, and he has to take her and leave her in the hermitage. Okay, they have Sitama and Sri Rama, Lord Sri Rama, they have a short conversation between them, and they say that actually this separation is not a separation at all. This message they have to convey to the world, that no separation is possible. Where Lord Sri Rama is, there Sita is, and where Sita is, Sri Rama is. So we have to convey this to the world. And even after after we go off, we leave this world, the future generations, they have to realize, they'll have to bear gracefully, they'll have to bear the separation. Okay, so separation does not happen. There always is a bondage between two people. So physical separation is not a separation at all. Okay, with this, masters, we come to the end of this chapter. And thank you, masters, and I thank the universe also for giving me this good opportunity to get connected with the actual thing. Actually, what has the author, she has been able to reach all these records from the Akashic records. Some channeling has happened, auto writing has happened, all this has happened. Although all through the centuries, by the way of mouth, mouth conversation. There was no written record. It has been written very long after this incident has happened. So through the Akashic records and through proper channeling, all these things, this author, she was able to reach all the truths, and it has got revealed to all of us. And I have been a very little part. I have been doing a very little service on this way, and that is I should be very thankful to the universe and all the masters for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Vasanthi ji, for a wonderful, wonderful wisdom sharing. And Sri Devi Garu, you know, when we listen to this kind of stories, we get different kind of, each of us, when we read the book, we all will get different ideas, right? So when there's somebody talking and then the idea get confirmed and restated, okay? So in that sense, I've been learning a lot from all of you, and I thank you for that, okay? So we have, one moment, I stop recording.